One thing that has tripped me up over and over, and that took me a while to even see, is fear of success. I would never have labeled myself as someone who fears success. I'd been successful in many things I pursued, and yet I discovered that its presence, this underlying fear of being truly successful, sabotaged much of what I attempted. Hi, I'm Maryanne Nicholls. Today and for the next 3 videos, I want to talk about how I learned to stop sabotaging my own success and how you can too. Today, my focus will be on fear of success, why getting what you want feels so hard. To define this fear, I'll begin with a personal story. I was invited to do a very simple exercise. Walk a straight line without faltering for 20 steps, then go backwards for 20 steps to my starting point. The thing is, every time I faltered and lost my balance, I'd have to start all over again. Well, I have balance issues and I have been dealing with an illness, so I wasn't sure I could do this. And with that kind of mindset, I faltered quite a bit and had to restart over and over. Then I decided to change things in order to support my limitations because, damn it, I wasn't going to lose this. I didn't have to walk perfectly or evenly, for instance. And it became very possible for me to get those 20 steps in without faltering. Then, and this was the surprising part, as I was approaching the 20th step, I found myself betting that I would not make it. And I had to fight like crazy to stay the course. I came so close to faltering that I didn't really know if I truly made it. Even so, I lied to myself, saying, oh, yeah, I made it, deciding I had done it, and then finished by walking backwards 20 steps. But just to be sure and to pay for the lie I told myself, I did it again twice more, and then a third time juggling stones, and then a fourth time with speed. The thing is, I recognized that last minute self doubt saboteur of mine in just about everything I've accomplished. In some ways, it's subtle enough to ignore because I still succeed. But what it does is vastly increase the cost of that success and also delay it. The cost is self deception, hiding from myself the shame of failure, then the quadrupled effort I go into of making that deception okay to my ego and my moral sense of well being. Yes, I succeed finally and truly, but at a really big cost. In my life, whenever I get near to achieving what I've worked so hard for, there is an inner voice that becomes incredibly compelling, doubting my abilities and even my worthiness to get what I'm going for. It takes a great deal of effort on my part to start fighting against that voice. And if I'm honest, there have been many times in my life that I succumbed to that voice and I did not succeed. Google AI defines fear of success, among other things, as the paradoxical fear of achieving success or the realization of one's own potential. It's a seeming paradox we face. We know what we want and also know at some level that we have what it takes to achieve it. Yet at the same time, we have doubts about our own abilities or our worthiness or both. For some of us, this makes reaching our objectives so scary that we waver right at the end, just as I wavered on that 20th step. If you recognize this as a pattern you have, then you know how difficult it is to deal with and painful. And yet it seems insurmountable because of those inner dual contradictory beliefs we hold at the same time. And this points to the way through, to resolve that seeming paradox. I will talk about how to resolve it and regain the mastery we truly have. But first, I want to take a look at the difference between fear of success and fear of failure, because they are different. That is the topic of my next video, fear of failure versus fear of success. What's really holding you back? I hope to see you there.